Welcome to the next match of the SGLIVE 2022 group stage for the Zelda 1 Randomizer. Today we have a match between MoonrisenPhoenix and Kingdahl. I am Elsoa, and I'm joined here by Adirondack Rick.
Well, greetings here, Elsoa. So we're going to lay things here on the table in regards to what may be the story of this seed. Kingdahl, with a win, will clinch a spot in the upcoming bracket round. However, if MoonrisenPhoenix wins, and he ended up beating Kingdahl in the first meeting between these two, things get really interesting.
Okay, so let's carry the factor of pi, divide by e, take the square root of it, and divide it again after you've taken the square root by a factor of 2.8.
The first match between these two was really rough, and as such, it was a 2-hour seed. Here's hoping, for my sake, it's not, because we have another match coming up here on this very channel in 2 hours. Where are we starting? Where are we starting this race?
Great Palace.
That's not going to be applicable in this seed, so that's not going to work. So please try again.
All right, well, seeing as Kingdahl is a hockey match, right, I'm going to say Capital One Arena.
This stream is not brought to you by Capital One or the NHL. However, I do love the fact that he plays with the NES Ice Hockey sprites.
Okay, final try. Given MoonrisenPhoenix has Phoenix in his name, they're going to start in Phoenix.
Arizona?
Yes.
Rather hot over there.
Yep, but, you know. It's better than starting in Death Valley.
Well, that might be close to Phoenix. It might be extra hot over there. We're about ready to begin this race. And we start at one of the armor screens.
We get an Octrock trying to sell us nothing.
Yes, because we don't have the device to allow us to have them sell us their wares. We need to have a piece of paper. And not just any piece of paper, a paper that you find in a cave somewhere.
I'm still waiting for the potion shop to be randomized.
Yeah, you need to find the letter in order to find the ladder?
No, you need to find the letter in order to buy bombs.
Hey, Kingdahl has found level 5 over here. The Armos ceased of level 2. So one thing to note about the Armos, in fact, Kiros has already marked it on the screen. The Armos leads to a heart container always here in the SpeedGaming Live 2022 flags.
But what's your Armos item?
It is a heart container.
I mean, you can still rush it. It just might not be as useful.
Well, Kingdahl tried to rush those Dark Nuts, and he gets a free pass back to start.
See, we're not in Hyrule, according to that old lady.
Okay, so we're in Death Valley?
Based on the Dark Nuts, yes.
And the Lionels.
Yeah, based on the enemies I'm seeing on this overworld, we are in Death Valley.
Well, MoonrisenPhoenix is glad that Lionel did not start to shoot, as we find a bomb shop with vanilla prices of everything.
All right. So we have replaced the magical shield with a heart. Actually, that's, I think, the same order as the vanilla shop if you just replace the magic shield with the heart.
Yeah.
The seed is already fantastic.
Yeah, vanilla price for the arrows, vanilla price for the bombs, and vanilla price for the heart.
No, I'm not saying just that. The way the items are arranged in the shop also matches the vanilla bomb shop, and it's ruined.
Yeah, I know. That's it. We're done.
There's a magic key on the coast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for a moment there you worry about that 60 rupee key, because that is a phenomenal price for a key. However, yeah, you're not going to worry about that once you get the ladder, because you're going to get that any key off the coast.
Rick, let's be realistic here. It's going to take like 8 keys to get to the ladder.
While Kingdahl takes a sword up to the throat and will go back to start, so that way he doesn't have to deal with the extra 5 seconds of the Link spinning around with a deke move of a hockey player.
I guess you could say that this game spins Link right round.
Yes, like a dig dogger.
Yep.
As MoonrisenPhoenix finds level 5, and soon we'll find out, hey, there is our heart container right there. MoonrisenPhoenix is going to find that this is a dungeon that you really can't be doing at this point in time because every room is a Vire. Except for those Tektites.
That means not every room is a Vire.
Every room is a Vire.
Okay, so the Tektites are jumpy Vires. Got it.
Thank you.
Alright, so...
See, those are Vires.
Yes, those are also Vires.
And that is a Vire block.
I'm glad this game has a lot of Vires.
And Kingdahl finds another bomb shop, which means that bomb shop is not the rare shop. And MoonrisenPhoenix has found a bomb wall.
But where does it go? It goes to a staircase that he may be able to clip into. This is a little bit of a tough clip to get with no item.
Got it.
He does get it. Oh, hi.
Yay! That's vanilla of a recorder here in level 5, but will it allow MoonrisenPhoenix to do some exploration? So one of the biggest things that happened back in the first match between these two is that MoonrisenPhoenix got some item advantages in dungeons. Like, for instance, the power bracelet was in level 2, that allowed MoonrisenPhoenix to start to build up a lead, because the wand turned out to be, I believe, in one of the dungeons, which was power bracelet blocked inside of that level 2.
And look at this, the recorder leads to a can. Now, you might wonder, wait, why did that spot open? Well, we have a mixed overworld here, so both the first and second quest spots are potentially valid spots, as well as the ones that are in both quests will automatically open no matter what.
That is correct, and the first of our small secret, or rather mid-secrets, turns out to be a one off the minimum of 26.
But what about the other 8?
Well, we'll have to find those and compare our notes later.
Said Kingdahl's just gonna lose 22 of them.
Yeah, 22 for the repair cost, 26 for the small secret. Darknets and Lionel's on the same screen in perfect holy matrimony, and there is our magical hockey stick.
Is that the one that was used in that one game? Is that the stick from the Miracle on Ice?
I think that one was used for the Mighty Ducks.
Wait, really?
Maybe.
I don't know the Mighty Ducks that well. I only watched it like once as a kid, and I haven't watched it since.
You're not missing much.
I'm apparently missing Mighty Ducks. Moonrisen about to get their heart container out of the Armos as Kingdahl works his way around Death Armos to get into the cave to find a candle shop.
Vanilla blue ring price, but that was because the blue ring price is going to be vanilla for the most cases.
So believe it is, if it rolls north of 255, it resets back to its original price.
And that Dark Knight rolled north of Kingdahl, giving him a free pass back to start.
Do not collect go, do not pass $200?
Sure thing. Ice has to roll 3 times to see if he can't get some doubles.
But what if you just paid $50?
In that case, we could let you out, but I've got hotels on New York and St. James.
It's okay, I have hotels on Illinois and Indiana. Moonrisen's gonna do a waterfall check for us. Gonna find the vanilla of the vanilla. But Moonrisen so far is out to an early lead, although Kingdahl will equalize out the candle advantage. Still, Moonrisen does hold on to that recorder, which will help him route a little bit more efficiently.
Ooh, this is a screen. That's going to be a death. If MoonrisenPhoenix did not do that up and A, they would have been spinning in that circle and taking that death, because there's no way that candle fire was going to get hit. You were going to get hit by that candle fire before those Lionel swords hit you.
Yeah. So it's so it's kind of interesting. We haven't really seen a wood sword yet, which I don't believe wood sword blocks is on, but I know forced overworld blocks is on. So one of the overworld items will lead to a dungeon, or potentially a white sword item.
And MoonrisenPhoenix has found 2 of the desert spots that are not actual caves this time around. The third is a no as well.
So naturally, that's going to lead to the question, where is the sword, and why is it at the top of Death Mountain?
Because game. And you know, that's not the worst place for the sword this time around, also.
What is the worst place for the sword this time around?
That Lionel screen.
No, you know what? There's a worse place.
No, that Lionel screen.
No, there's a worse place.
Also, what is that screen?
Ew. It's, well, you know. Oh, wait, did one of the runners already check the southwest corner?
Yes, Kingdahl just did.
Oh, never mind, I was going to say there. What you get for trying to pay attention to one.
I mean, that's not a fun location, but you don't have to deal with the 6 red Lionels in order to get that sword.
Just go up there with like 8 bombs and bomb all the Lionels away. Problem solved.
Okay, well, yeah, but how would you like to get these bombs you speak of?
Go to the waterfall and buy them.
Oh,
you have the money. The large secret 142.
All right, well, that makes up for the mid-secret being 1 off the minimum 25, and the small secret being a palsy 3. MoonrisenPhoenix is going to escape out of losing 22 and save, and Kingdahl has found level 7 at the level 6 location.
Okay, so 6. Okay, so 7 minus 6 is 1. And let's see.
There's a key on the floor.
Oh, now Kingdahl has 1 key. Okay, and there's a 1 in Moonrisen's rupee count, so level 1 clearly has to be the next level we find. Oh, and there's a 1 in the large secret. Even better. There's like everything pointing towards level 1 is the next level.
And 22 is 2 divided by 2, and that equals...
2 divided by 2 is 1, but 22 is not 2 divided by 2. 22 is actually 11 times 2, and 11 has 2 1s in it, therefore there's 1. Moonrisen bought the arrows. However,
come on over to SpeedGaming Live 2022 and go ahead and meet crazy people like the bird friend that I'm so up speaking with.
Thought you were gonna say that I'm so upset with. Hi, that's potential ladder block in 7.
And that's quite the map in 7 as well.
There's one little room off in the corner being all sad. Somebody should give it a friend.
That's a Wizrobe room.
The Wizrobe room is not the small room's friend. This is not a friendly room either.
Yeah. Hey, there's a white sword. Not obtainable 4 hearts, but MoonrisenPhoenix is going to remember that for next time.
Yes, and Moonrisen will be able to pick up the heart in the Deadwoods, which will be nice. Moonrisen... Okay, so now the interesting question.
Yes?
If you're in Moonrisen's shoes, do you say, alright, you know what? I'm going to take the retry, grab the extra heart instead of the candle, use that to hopefully pick up your white sword, and then get the candle out of the wood sword cave?
Well, you need to use the candle to get that white sword.
Okay, that's what we call a minor detail.
Just a minor?
Yeah, just a minor detail. Not a excavator detail.
I love the fact that these NPCs are the referee there for Kingdahl. Hey! 5 hearts, is that enough for the white sword?
I think MoonrisenPhoenix is going to check after checking this next cave over here.
Yes, you have to. You absolutely have to at this point in time.
Especially if this is another bonus heart. Ooh, a level.
It is a level.
Level 8.
I think you dig a couple of rooms, see if you can't get an easy heart container to guarantee this sword, and Then you bail.
You bail, you get the sword, you come back.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yes, it is.
This is less interesting.
Yes, it is. And now MoonrisenPhoenix has decided that I have had enough, and I am going to go check that sword. And Kingdahl finds the white sword as well, and nope, I did not get that thing that I sent you. Sorry, you're going to have to go back to Harvey Birdman.
So, do you think Moonrisen goes right back into level 8 if he can pick up the sword here?
Considering that enemy set, yes.
And
it is
he can get
obtainable at 5.
That's actually very good for Moonrisen because Kingdahl does not have easy access to another heart container right now. Without bombs and without a recorder.
Mm-hmm.
If Kingdahl had either one of those things, he could get the next heart that he needs to pick up that white sword.
Yep. And there is one more heart container out in the pool somewhere.
Now, if you're Moonrisen, when you see the next heart, do you even consider getting the heart, or do you just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just get the potion here? This could be a spare room.
That is a very good question. Yes, because we do have second quest rooms turned on. Ooh, you really don't want to be smacking around with a dig dug like that.
Looks like Moonrisen is going to attempt the room.
There's the other, there it is right there.
That's Kingdahl's white sword, but that's a push block. Moonrisen going to save the room first, though.
Yes.
I like that.
Although I'm not certain why. You could have just went down the stairs and that thing would have been gone, but it is a transport staircase.
Not really that surprising. Kingdahl's probably going to check Candle Row and then make his way back over to the white sword. Gonna be disappointed to get this. And drop about 100 rupees on the floor.
So many rupees left on the floor.
If only you could get a wallet.
I'm sorry you had to wait until Ocarina of Time before you actually got wallets. And I will pick up this key. There we go.
So did wallets get, like, uninvented between this and between Ocarina of Time and this?
Apparently ladders got uninvented between this and Ocarina of Time.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because Ocarina of Time happens first chronologically, so I guess they haven't invented step ladders yet. They've only invented climbing ladders. Although, the ladder did get uninvented for Zelda 2. As did flippers, you just walk on water.
Yeah, you just pick up some boots.
I want boots that let me walk on water.
I know, wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't help with the lake effect snow, but
I mean, Eddie Money could walk on water.
Kingdahl is going back for the white sword, can pick it up. But now Kingdahl still needs to get some bombs.
Yeah, but now he has a way to actually get them.
Oh, he's going for a blue ring play, okay.
Yeah, you might as well at this stage since the game is giving you 143 on the big secret.
You've got the money. Now, Kingdahl has seen 2 of the big secrets. Bombs for Moonrisen as a floor drop. He's going to pick those up being only on 3. And one thing that I'm liking out of a lot of these players is, well, there's a bomb upgrade. Moonrisen may remember where that is, because that's not that deep an aim.
Yeah. If you can make your way back over to level 8, Mugu Mugu, you can get yourself that purchase. Kingdahl trying to get the 1, 6, or 8 on the global counter. There we go.
Kingdahl with his first pack of bombs at 16 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, you don't feel good when it takes you 16 minutes to get that, but then again, Kingdahl has only had a stable weapon now for, let's see, about a minute and a half now?
Now, and also bear in mind, Kingdahl could have had bombs earlier, but he elected to play for the blue ring and go for the extra defense instead of purchasing the bombs out of the shop.
Like, so that made sense.
Yeah, it's not a terrible choice to make, I don't think. I'm not entirely sure if I like buying the blue ring before arrows, just because you never know when that bow's going to show up, but I understand the thought behind it.
Probably thinking, I know, there's that nasty screen up on the north side of this world there next to a lake that's got some red linos. I want to give myself a little bit of defense. I may stumble across the next of the big secrets and waste away all of my rupees at some point in time here.
Yeah, but what if there's nothing up there? That's the question. I'm kind of thinking about what he wants to do here. Gonna try to bomb south here, cannot do so. I believe that'll just be an up A.
Yeah, definitely. Since you got bopped around by that Pole's voice, you definitely don't want to take too much time. Yeah, you don't really want to take too much time here. So this 8 looks connected for the most part. So that means the next staircases we see may turn out to be the items, but there's not enough data that exists.
I like data.
I know you like math.
Yeah, there was some data that I was supposed to collect for some other things, and then I just never collected it. Because there were too many matches to watch.
Hey, there's the map right there, and it is a continuous level 8, so that means the next 2 staircases will be our 2 items of this level 8. Don't walk into a Pole's voice.
I think this level is Atari Johnny Bravo.
Atari what?
Johnny Bravo.
I can see that.
So, some Pole's voice combat going on here. Moonrisen will be able to keep this room dead as soon as he clears it, so that'll be very nice. And it looks like the Pole's voice might have rolled down to 8.
Hey, level 2 found.
This is probably the map. On Kingdahl's side, not on Moonrisen's side. Moonrisen already has...
If there were 2 maps inside of this level 8, then I would have some questions.
I may have once accidentally built the dungeon with 2 maps.
Tell me more.
Well, I forgot I put a map in the dungeon already when I was putting in an NPC in the dungeon, and I wanted the NPC to give the player something, so I had him give the player a map.
And the game didn't scream at you for it?
No, the game was just like, oh, okay, you have 2 maps, but it doesn't do anything. There we go. The magic bomb wall has been found by Kingdahl.
Yeah, you gotta love when you get to play the Find the Bomb Wall. Of course, this is also looking to be a segmented level 2 based on that compass.
Yes, remove most open stairs is on, which means that if you see items in spots that they don't belong, such as in the corner of a double block or single block room, there's a 99.998% chance there's a stair there.
Why that 0.8?
Because there's always the 0.002% chance that the code decided to break.
That's not something Fred wants to hear.
Well, that's what you get for doing software. Anytime you do software, you know there's a chance for it to break. Potential item here on Moonrisen's side is he does pick up a 6th heart.
Yes, indeed. Needs to be careful. These 2 Pole's voices, they do 2 hearts of damage. As Kingdahl has found the transport staircase taking you all the way to the top of this level 2, with several rooms involved. And that is a magic boomerang. MoonrisenPhoenix is opting to grab it.
Okay, so the boomerangs are not actually terrible items as much as people will tell you otherwise. They do help you out with a couple of things, such as getting easier forces, stunning some enemies you'd rather not fight, dealing with the Lionels on the overworld, etc. The problem is it loses its value incredibly quickly in seeds where you have a sword.
Mm-hmm.
What?
MoonrisenPhoenix has cleared off this room, found out that it is not a push block, and we do have a question in chat that I think I'd like for you to answer while we get a second here.
So the question is, what is randomized, and is it all 8 dungeons plus Ganon and Kill? It is all 8 dungeons required plus Ganon and Kill. You will have to get all the Triforce pieces. The things that are randomized in this particular flag set include mixing the first and second quest spots on the overworld, although the money will remain a first quest distribution. All of the dungeons will have procedurally generated shapes, as we're seeing here in level 8, a potential Goma block as well.
I would bomb those 2 rooms to the south.
Yeah.
They are connected. You have to have a way over to them since you've already seen the transport.
But I think I can agree with choosing to clear this Dig Dogger out now, because this is a drop room in level 8.
It is. I was just concerned that you're going to leave those 2 rooms behind on the bottom right corner, and what if that turns out to be the bow?
Well, I thought it was a locked door to get down. I thought it was a locked door to get down there.
I thought it was just a solid wall.
It might be, but those rooms don't Wait, do those rooms have to be connected? Oh yeah, we've seen the transport.
Yeah, we've already seen the transport. Meanwhile, we see this level 2 map, and this level 2 map it's something.
Now, Moonrisen might have been thinking, okay, I want to go verify that I'm Goma blocked before going back, because he can get back into that room pretty quickly. That's the thing.
Yep.
And I can understand wanting to verify if you're Goma blocked or not before you commit.
Yeah.
But now I think he should go to the right here, even if it is a key to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And then go south twice.
Oh, the room of level 7.
Looks like that is going to be a quick nope on out.
Yeah, that takes a little too much time, and we are upping and A-ing.
Moonrisen does have some parts in this northeast portion of level 8 yet to see. Moonrisen is kind of gambling that there's no item down there, but also bear in mind, Moonrisen has not seen a Triforce yet, so he's not strictly losing time by checking these rooms.
I do agree with you. I'm just concerned about those 2 rooms at this stage, but it very well might not be the case. But it isn't also an easy enemy set here.
And he knows he can get back there pretty quickly because he's killed the Dig Dogger already. There's the
our Triforce.
So now this becomes a little bit of a gamble for... I wonder if that's actually playing into Risen's decision-making here, is saying, okay, well, I've seen a couple of ladder blocks. I have reason to assume that there's going to be more ladder blocks. I'm just going to get this Triforce.
Well, you can't get to those upper 2 rooms because of that. Well, actually, probably you had a chance at least, but we'll see what winds up happening. Moonrisen's probably has decided that I've spent enough time inside of this level, and that there are smaller levels that I can go ahead and search. Now, as far as Kingdahl is concerned, have we even seen what the item of level 2 is? I don't see anything marked on the tracker based on Kiros's not having anything there.
He might have been bomb blocked from getting it.
And they're, yeah, according to chat, yep. We saw the dungeon heart because we know that the other heart, the coast heart, is the Armos item, which both of these runners have picked up.
So it looks like Kingdahl's going to do a little bit of exploration. And there is probably something else helping Moonrisen as he decides to buy some keys. At least one.
And what's that?
Well, Moonrisen has a recorder, so for him to get back to level 8 is just a couple of toots and then a bunch of walking. As opposed to a bunch of walking and then more walking.
That is true. Kingdahl gets some bombs and we're back in level 2.
Chad is also pointing out there was a Goma in level 2, so it could very well be bow blocked.
That would be evil, but this game knows no boundaries. There's the decision from Moonrisen has opted to go pick up the heart container. But that's not the last of the take-annies for Moonrisen. Has not gotten to the dead woods yet.
Right. Plus, at 170 rupees, picking up the heart container there does not feel terrible, especially with knowledge of where Magical Sword is. Looks like Kingdahl is going to go back into the segment of level 2. Moonrisen will find another potion shop.
So, trying to bomb to the south here. No.
That tells you that it's going to be an old man, and that probably means there is a Goma block. Now, interestingly, Kingdahl may have been able to infer that without checking that bomb wall.
Yeah, because there's always one old man inside of that level 2.
And if you've seen all but one room and have not found the old man, you know where the old man is. Now, that old man could have a bomb upgrade, which would be nice. But
you've already seen one.
Level 4 for Moonrisen with a free door at the start.
There is an overworld block in for a level in this flag set, yes indeed.
And we know it will not apply to the white sword item because that has already been found. It was in fact the white sword. Good clock for MoonrisenPhoenix. Going to make quick work of that room, and an early map is always nice to see. Potential item room here, never mind. But Moonrisen needs bombs now.
Yeah, I would actually just lose your health at this point in time. You cannot get any bombs off those likes.
Moonrisen taking a second to decide what the best course of action is, and it looks like heading back to the overworld start with a save is going to be the choice.
There's our third and final of the large secrets for Kingdahl.
And the immediate bomb drop for Moonrisen, followed by a level 5 choice. You know, I don't think this is a bad idea.
It's an interesting decision more out of the fact that we've already seen the item in here be the recorder, which is something that MoonrisenPhoenix has used to a little bit of an advantage early on in this seed. But I think we're at a point here where we just want to cash in our chips, get rid of this level, and never have to worry about it ever again.
And also there might be the choice to say, okay, I'm going to go into this level 5, and I'm going to look for some keys while I'm in here, because 5 usually is pretty good about having some extra keys laying around.
Well, yeah. It usually is.
Go ahead.
It usually is, however.
Also bear in mind that Moonrisen's small dungeons that he has left includes level 1, which tends to be a bit of a key hog. So
yes, it is.
I think choosing to go into 5 now, even though it is just a Triforce, gives Moonrisen the option of getting some more keys before finding that level 1 and wanting to dig it. Now, Moonrisen does have to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, even if he gets smacked around by that Dodongo, it would be a return back to Star.
Going to elect to spend a key, finds an old man room.
Who needs some help?
Bell's Runners needs some help because level 1 hasn't been found yet. It could very well be overworld blocked. Now, Kingdahl's going to skip a couple of these spots up here in favor of getting the one spot that is guaranteed to open. And it is a level.
It's a level, yeah.
Level 6. This is not the dungeon you want to find early, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It is the largest of the first 6 levels, so therefore it can be rather time-intensive.
That was a bad trick.
Yes, I was.
The level 6 with Wizrobes. Not what you want to see if you're trying to dig a level 6. Moonrisen's going to attempt to do this room. Remember, he does not have a bow and arrow, nor a wand, so his only option go ahead.
I was going to just say that there's bubbles here, too, adding to the torture.
But does get at least a return key for his efforts, and going to try to sneak past some of these Pulse Voice. Uses the iframes of the bubble to get through. Finds a potential stair room, as well as another locked door. Be very tempted to use the candle to wipe some of these keys off of the map. His keys will snipe you if given the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And with the bubbles around here... Oh, gosh. Level 6 is a mixing bowl. There's the other bomb upgrade.
Kingdahl will pick this up.
Yeah, I'm going to use the 2 bombs first. Go over here to the room to the right, see what that is.
Transport stair for Moonrisen, and kind of a moat room for Kingdahl. Waiting for the keys to come into good position. Does not get the bomb storage.
I don't think that really was... that heartbreaking to Kingdahl, because he's now going to spend 98 to get 12.
5 might be segmented. We don't know just yet. This could be an item room in 6. Could also be just a transport. Moonrisen is going to leave 5.
Or it could just be a double block room.
No, those don't exist. Level 3 for MoonrisenPhoenix.
Yep, right over here, south of the Lost Hills Power Bracelet spot.
So that means 1 of 1 or 9 is going to be blocked by an overworld item. So we find the Gorillas. And Raft in 6.
That is a rather good find here for Kingdahl. However, that only opens up 2 new spaces on the map. But we are still looking for level 1. We're still looking for level 9.
Now, I don't remember exactly if we've seen a Dig Dogger block just yet. I believe we have somewhere. But of course, there is also the possibility that one of our unchecked recorder spots is a level.
Yeah, because there's still the ones up on Death Mountain.
And the ones near the grave.
There is the Triforce of level 3. However, MoonrisenPhoenix is going to be checking a few other rooms here, trying to find out where the staircase item is. 1 item inside of level 3.
And you definitely want to check 3 before you commit to something big like a 6, 7, or 8. Also, might be looking for some keys or a map if you can get them for free.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I think MoonrisenPhoenix is trying to take care of some of these rooms with the Gorillas inside.
But will elect not to spend too much time on them as he knows he's got a Triforce found. He needs to focus on those stair rooms.
Yes. And this is one of those things that a lot of runners don't understand. Don't realize, I guess is the better way of saying it, that these are where you can lose a bunch of time to some of the more veteran runners, is when you're starting to search out rooms that you don't really need to be searching out at certain points in the run. Yes, of course, here at this point, you only have 2 keys, so it's definitely good to be searching out some rooms, but if the combat is tough, just get on to the next one.
Moonrisen just gets a compass. Here we go. This could be an item. And the Lamos rolled to at least normal. They might have rolled down, but we won't know that.
Yeah. And a nice fairy there, but we're not even going to grab that. That is a push block. That is an item. That is a ladder.
That's really big for Moonrisen.
And a 3 that is just up north of level 5.
Now I think Moonrisen may consider going back to 5 to get that Triforce out of it. But again, with Recorder in it right next to start, there's nothing really pushing him to there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Moonrisen, and that also does open up 2 overworld spots.
I also do want to point out one bigger thing.
Go ahead.
Moonrisen no longer has to worry about keys.
Oh, that's right.
There's the Triforce for Kingdahl on level 6.
So, if you're on Team Sweden right now, you want this raft to be required, and you want it to be the last thing Moonrisen finds.
Yeah, considering the fact that it's up here in the northwest corner of Death Mountain, as Kingdahl trying to figure out where that spot here in that second quest location of Death Mountain. Doesn't get anything out of it. And MoonrisenPhoenix is now off back to the overworld. All we need to do is find out where the levels 1 and 9 are.
We know one of them will be under an overworld block, but we don't know what the overworld block item is going to be. Kingdahl is now going to go into level 5, and presumably will pull a Recorder out of here, neutralizing that advantage. Putting the ball slightly in Kingdahl's court by having the raft out of 6, if it is required. If it is not, then Moonrisen will be able to just kind of ignore that item and go straight to the Triforce.
And going right straight for an item, speaking of that, MoonrisenPhoenix about to pick up the any key here on the coast that will now make it so you're not really caring about clearing out rooms. You just go try to see if that Triforce is on the floor, see if a compass is out there on the floor, and you just move it through the dungeons.
Kingdahl has elected not to check the bomb spots just yet, going to cash in this raft first.
And it is not at a level here.
Okay, that's one of the 2 down. We could still need a power bracelet.
Yes, indeed.
And
which could very well be in one of the levels that we've seen. It could be the second item of level 8.
Could be the item in 7.
Yes, indeed.
Could also be in level 1 and is required to get into level 9. With level 1 being blocked by another item.
And you would want that, don't you?
Oh, yes. In fact, I would like that, and then the bow is in the second item in level 8.
You're evil.
No, if I was evil, I'd say the red ring was the second item in level 8.
Oh, that was close for MoonrisenPhoenix.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know which is worse. All I know is that MoonrisenPhoenix has lost money, and Kingdahl has picked up a potion.
And MoonrisenPhoenix knows the stakes of this race. Ended up taking a DNF against Druis, so really needs this race to stay in the hunt for a chance to make it into the next stage of the tournament.
Having a little bit of trouble getting the screen wrapped there. Nobody has been back to that waterfall screen yet.
Well, they've been told not to go chasing waterfalls.
Well, you're not chasing the waterfall, you're climbing the top. You're climbing to the top of it.
You're still chasing it.
It's not chasing it. It's going to the top of it. Both runners on a decent amount of keys. Well, okay, MoonrisenPhoenix has a key. So I guess that's a decent amount. A is 10, right?
Sure.
And Kingdahl going to go into level 3. Finds the immediate ladder blocked key with the Dig Dogger and is like, nope, I'm out of here.
Moonrisen making the way over towards the Death Mountain. Needs to be careful. Oh, wow. That was close.
Good dodging there for Moonrisen.
Yeah. And don't forget, there are these 2 locations here along the river, too, which do count as an overworld block.
Yes. In fact, it looks like Moonrisen is really considering opening these up. There's one. It's a level!
It is a level. It's 9.
Okay, so now Moonrisen knows that he's got to check all the spots for level 1, but level 1 is the only dungeon we're missing.
What if level 1 is right here?
I'd be okay with it. Nope.
Was that the right spot?
Yes, that was the right spot, I'm pretty sure. I think it's 5 to the left? It's 4 or 5 to the left. That spot's not exactly... it's not exactly intuitive to check that, but it is there.
Alright, let's see how MoonrisenPhoenix does with the top of the waterfall. Needs to be careful.
Gets a heart. Very important. Looks like the Lionels are giving him a good pattern.
Lionels are part of the health dropping group here, so now you can stomach 1 Lionel beam if you need to.
Moonrisen may have forgotten he has a boomerang. And a boomerang I could see being very helpful there. We get a map of 3. Okay!
Game, you are playing jokes.
This would be a heck of a fun scene to see in our routers.
If you're doing your routers, you're getting the white sword.
Yeah, but where are you getting your
ASAP.
candle? That's the question. Do you take the risk of the red Lionel candle, or do you find a candle shop that you can access?
Well,
that's really the question here.
That is a good question.
I would actually... That actually might be... this actually, I think, would be a fun router scene now.
I think you go into level 5, you get the recorder, you get that candle out of the Take Any. And then you go to town.
I guess you get the candle, get 2 hearts real quick in Forest and Deadwoods, and then... Yeah, then you get your white sword, and then you're good to go.
Yes, indeed.
Kingdahl's clearing this room out as it could be an item. Moonrisen presumably headed for a bomb shop. But could also just be doing his Deadwood checks.
Yep. And we've got 3 recorder spots over here that we haven't seen yet.
And if one of these is level 1, Moonrisen still needs to get knowledge of where 6 is up in the corner. And I forget which one saw level 7. I know it's been seen, I just don't remember which one of them saw it.
Well, don't feed Ganon after midnight.
We're hearing from chat that 7 is at 6, which means it was probably Kingdahl that saw it.
Yeah, it was Kingdahl. It was Kingdahl.
Well, Moonrisen might see it shortly when he does this set of checks. There's a magical sword.
Yep, we saw that from Kingdahl earlier. MoonrisenPhoenix will get 1 heart closer to that goal coming up here in a few moments when he gets to the original level 3 location.
Speaking of level 3, Triforce out of level 3 for Kingdahl.
Did Kingdahl get the... Nope, going back in. That answers that question.
Yeah, Kingdahl got the heart container.
For those who are just tuning in, a reminder of the stakes of this race. If Kingdahl wins this race, he will have clinched a spot into the 16-person bracket to go for the money here for SpeedGaming Live, with the current pool grossing over $600, I believe, or we're near $600.
But Moonrisen, if he wins this, makes this group quite interesting, I think. Because it would give him some leverage going into the next set of matches.
Yes, indeed. And MoonrisenPhoenix's last match will be against Druis. There is the ladder for Kingdahl. And I believe that match is coming up here in a few days.
I believe so too, but I have not seen the schedule in a little bit. Kingdahl
Well, I'm going to type...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm going to go ahead and type that up right now, so that way we can take a look.
And Kingdahl's now going to be doing the recorder checks that Moonrisen already did, as Moonrisen goes ahead and checks the Deadwoods. You can tell Moonrisen's hesitating a little bit on this money pickup, because he has not seen where that last large secret is yet. And he does not want to drop all those rupees on the floor if he doesn't have to.
That match is going to be played out at midnight on the night of September 15th into the 16th. That may have a lot of implications on this group as we make ourselves closer and closer to figuring out which 16 are going to be playing for a chance for the money here at SpeedGaming Live 2022.
And you'll notice now that Moonrisen is not picking up any more money. He's going to leave that money there because he knows he's way too close to the cat to risk dropping 100 and some odd rupees on the floor. That's going to be a potion for Moonrisen. I like the play to go ahead and get the potion. You haven't seen the Letter Cave. You've seen the magical sword, but you only have 8 hearts.
That's a rough death for Kingdahl to take. Try to get rid of those Lionels, but the Lionels said no. You're going back to start.
Okay, was there a hockey team that was known for just throwing their sticks at people?
I believe that was... Oh, there's our letter.
Moonrisen might be a little bit annoyed to see that after getting the free potion, but probably we'll just move on. Kingdahl gets tackled again by a Dark Nut. Moonrisen might be considering a blue ring. Kingdahl down to half a heart, has to be careful, but Moonrisen so far has not been able to find this level 1. I'm thinking if I'm Moonrisen, I might go ahead and just dig 7 or 8 when I see them, because I haven't seen level 1 yet, and I'm starting to really run out of spots to check.
I mean, just a quick search right now shows me that there's a movie called Goon. That almost sounds like that could be the answer right there. I was actually thinking Slapshot.
Moonrisen's carefully considering if he wants to split this up. Instead, it's just going to mark it down. I think Moonrisen will go ahead and dig 7 here, because Moonrisen's options are West Death Mountain, which does have a power bracelet spot on it. And as far as he knows, there's no convenient way to get back there. So he may just say, you know what, the opportunity cost of having to walk back to West Death Mountain if I don't get a power bracelet is too high. 7 is worth a dig. And he's still missing a bow as well, which, according to the flag set, cannot be in level 9. So
nope.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say nope, it cannot. And that's because important items cannot be in level 9. It's not like the All Boards, No Swords tournament that is currently going on, with the finals taking place later this week.
So, if you're in Moonrisen's shoes, you actually have too much... You kind of have too much missing to ignore 7's item at this stage. You're missing 3 dungeons, you're still missing a bow, you may still need a power bracelet or a raft. I think you gotta give 7 the honest dig.
I agree with you on this one because of the fact that right now at this stage, it could very well be the power bracelet, it could be the bow, it could be something that we don't need, but you don't know unless you dig it, and sadly, it is a really rough enemy set, but they all can't be gorillas in great places.
And realistically speaking, there are certain, like, even if it's something that, like you said, isn't required, a wand would be nice, a red ring would be very nice, a book would be nice to have the maps. There's enough good items left out there that ignoring... You kind of can't really ignore dungeons, but you also have the recorder, so you can get back here whenever you want, except with MoonrisenPhoenix's layout, really the only dungeon that he could go back to is 4. Because, well, 4 he saw the entrance of, but didn't go through any of.
Yep, and that is exactly where Kingdahl is right now, is this level 4, so... If you aren't cheering on MoonrisenPhoenix, you don't really want to see something nice in that level 4, but this could be an item right here.
And Kingdahl didn't go into this room because he didn't want to spend the key. This could be pretty big.
It is a push block, however, there are going to be 2 transports, and it is one of our 2 transports.
Not really too surprising. I believe the game biases towards putting things a little bit deeper. Oh, here's
the push block in 4.
That's the power bracelet. Did Moonrisen not get... Oh, he never bombed down because he ran out of bombs in 4.
Yep, he had no bombs in that room with the like, so therefore could not.
Now, this is interesting because we don't really have a whole lot of spots left that level 1 could be that aren't Power Bracelet or Raft blocked. But Moonrisen knows where 4 is, can get back there pretty quickly. The best case scenario for Moonrisen is actually Silver's to be here. And the reason Silver's to be here is the best case for Moonrisen is pretty likely to dig this out, especially because he's got a ladder to go ahead and explore everything. So if there is a Silver's in 7, Kingdahl may not check that until post 9.
And for those wondering about the all boards, no swords and finals, they will start up on Wednesday night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if necessary. Patra with the Triforce here in this level 4. Race time is scheduled for, I believe, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Time.
And that is going to be the same for all 5 of those matches.
What a great series that is going to be. Chestrick versus Crystal Saver.
I heard that they were thinking about a best of 17, but...
I said no.
But we could have 17 matches.
Yes, and unfortunately that'd be conflicting with a lot of things we got going on. Oh, MoonrisenPhoenix almost got Y-forced.
But this does tell me that he's definitely committing to digging this dungeon. And again, if you're on Team Moonrisen, you kind of want this to be Silver's, because we know he's not going to get an exploration item. Red Ring would also be fine. But Kingdahl, as soon as he gets his bow, is probably not checking any other items.
Honestly, I think if you are MoonrisenPhoenix at this point, if you're cheering on MoonrisenPhoenix to make this group interesting, you want the Silvers to be beyond these rooms here, over here on the eastern side. Here's another potential staircase room. Now, we've seen one transport, but
there are 2.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And Kingdahl's about to get the great story of this seed, the fact that the wood sword is behind these Lionels. There's a sword slash.
A single stab. It's the second transport to the little lonely room, potentially. Although, did we go through the first transport?
I want to say no.
So that could very well just link back to the first transport.
I hate to tell you this, Kingdahl, but that's a 2-minute penalty for slashing, so we're going to add 2 minutes to your time.
Suddenly that makes the difference. If the race is within 2 minutes and that 2-minute penalty makes a difference, that's fantastic. I like the choice from Moonrisen to go ahead and check these bottom rooms first, because you... Ooh!
Well, you can't get beyond this.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
You still can't get through this.
So, the race has kind of swung back towards Kingdahl being in the driver's seat. In spite of the raft not being required, we may have a power bracelet blocked level 1 still, because I believe we've seen all of the non-block spots.
I want to say yes to that. And Kingdahl does have all of the transport stuff here. So therefore, the chances of Kingdahl finding this level 1 is extraordinarily good.
And the early overworld exploration from Kingdahl is going to end up being a major difference maker in this race now.
Freedom Fighter saying in chat it could be a double minor for 4 minutes or a 5-minute major. Well, yes, but Kingdahl did not come up to the old man and slash him that way. He just slashed him from afar, so I'm just going to treat him with a 2-minute minor.
Instructions unclear. Replace the puck with an overcooked burger. Burger. I can't speak tonight, sorry.
Is that... In that case, can we change the hockey stick into a overcooked baguette? In that case, can we change the stick into an overcooked baguette?
Yes, actually, we can.
We're CD Improv. I think we could probably get some help from her in the bakery department.
Alright, so we're going to replace all Triforces with cookies, and we're going to...
Yes.
We're going to replace Ganon with just a pack of Hormel bacon.
We're going to replace him with what?
We're just going to get a pack of Hormel bacon as a Sprite and replace Ganon with that.
I like the way you think.
And
But
then
are we really going to go with Hormel over Oscar Mayer?
Yes, because Hormel is way better.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Even though I can't eat bacon and I'm sad about it.
We're not going to even ask the questions why around here. We're just going to note that MoonrisenPhoenix has picked up the Triforce out of this level 7. Now, decision time, as it looks like Kingdahl is about to go into this level 7. They're going to high five right now. MoonrisenPhoenix is gone.
Moonrisen may be thinking, okay, there's a bow block in 7. I'm coming back when I have a bow. Moonrisen still needs to find 6 and 1. Nobody has found 1 yet.
I don't think anyone has checked the top part of Death Mountain either.
Not Eastern Death Mountain, no. And Kingdahl takes it up to Blue Wishops.
That's a cross check. That's a 2-minute penalty against the Wizrobes.
How much liquid water is there in a normal hockey rink, though? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Moonrisen hasn't found 2 yet.
Which means MoonrisenPhoenix has 1 more level to find.
Yep.
Besides 1.
Yep. It's interesting sometimes to see how much the overworld exploration done early makes a larger difference than it might appear on paper.
Yeah, especially if you're still searching out for your dungeons at the hour mark.
At least speaking for myself, I've found that anymore I'm doing more of the overworld exploration early and foregoing the dungeons. Just because, yes, the dungeons have more items in them, so you want to dig the dungeons for the items, but knowing where your dungeons are makes routing so much more efficient.
Oh, yeah. There are times, I'm just going to speak of my own history with this game, where I have had to catch myself because it's gotten way too long. Like, if I'm still searching out dungeons at the hour mark, I'm going to be like, okay, we need to go back and actually do... we need to redo our next strategy for the next seed, and maybe not do so much, hey, let's go and spend so much time in dungeons.
Have they written a history book on your history with this game?
That's why they call it the Rick 6.
I thought they called it the Rick 6 because once you go more than 6 rooms in, you start falling suspect to the sunk cost fallacy.
It's more of the... If you go more than 6 rooms, it's the enemies respawn.
Speaking of the Rick 6, there was something Rick mentioned earlier that is now becoming a little bit interesting, and that is those 2 rooms in the bottom of 8 that Moonrisen opted to just leave behind.
That is correct. There is a second item in that 8.
And both runners are up to 8 hearts now. Fires don't die to a white sword.
That's always good when the fires go down to a white sword.
Yeah, I would be okay with every seed fires go down to a white sword. Not necessarily wood sword. I want it to be like, I want you to have some item to, be able to just get your bomb drops. I don't mind enemies having some HP. I do mind when blue Wishrobes have 14 HP and you can't kill them with bombs.
So there's the Goma of question marks here.
And that, I believe, can be a drop room in 2, because I want to say Kingdahl cleared out the rest of this. Moonrisen sitting on so many rupees for so long, you gotta be thinking about a potential blue ring play, or if you're really saving for those bomb upgrades,
"56 minutes into this match between MoonrisenPhoenix and Kingdahl, the quadruple header of SpeedGaming live matches here on SpeedGaming 2 today. It continues, coming up here at 9:15 with yet another match.
Now this is actually where this gets kind of interesting for Moonrisen. Now, if you're on Team Moonrisen, you want there to be nothing in the 7.
Bingo.
Like, basically, if you're on Team Moonrisen, you want the silvers to be wherever Moonrisen is, wherever that happens to be at the time. Naturally, that's, gonna just change based on where Moonrisen goes. And likewise, if you're on Team Kingdahl, you want all of the items to be hockey sticks of glory wherever Kingdahl goes. Silver hockey sticks, specifically. better pointy. See a lot of suggestions for silvers on the Goma and level 2 in chat. I want that too. Moonrisen back down to 1 bomb. We'll see if he elects to dig out 4 after getting done with the Death Mountain checks. Remember, Moonrisen did not get the Triforce out of there, so he does not have the ability to walk back via whistle. And by walk, I mean toot. Kingdahl's found the Triforce in level 7, but he's seen most of the 7. It could very well be Goma blocked in 7.
Yes, which would give more power to the decisions that we have seen from MoonrisenPhoenix. They get the Triforce out of this level 2.
And now we have potentially 2 Goma blocked items in this seed. Although Moonrisen's going back, I believe there's 1 room he hasn't seen yet. Yeah, he should know that the old man room is in the top portion, so he only has to check 1 room. Kingdahl finds the other transport stair. This one will lead to the little sad room. And the sad room will remain sad. Some rupees for Kingdahl, some rupees for Moonrisen. Moonrisen just gets a key. He may... Yeah, he's gonna walk out of this to preserve his health. And there's the Goma block for Kingdahl.
Yep, and he's got nothing he can do about this at all, and back to start.
He is going to go back in for those couple of remaining rooms, potentially just for a Triforce, because he hasn't seen that yet. It looks like Moonrisen is going to check the spawn wall. We know it won't open because it's an old man, but Moonrisen is going to be sure of it. But unfortunately, this is his last bomb again. So he's once again found himself without bombs, needing to dig, and now he's got to dig Death Mountain, too.
MoonrisenPhoenix taking a look at this stuff here, and it's like, why can't I get into this room? And we'll be reminded about it coming up here in just a moment.
Honestly, resource management from Kingdahl has been playing a large part in why he's been able to get some of these extra items out. But yeah, that's a boot out of level 2 for Moonrisen. I believe Moon has seen the bomb upgrade in level 8, given he's the only one that's been in it. He may be thinking about going back to level 8 now. And honestly, I think that's probably his best play.
As we wait to see which direction MoonrisenPhoenix is going to go in here.
Kingdahl has now convinced himself, and we are now convinced, that the Goma in level 7 blocks an item. Looks like Moonrisen is not immediately headed in the direction of the coast. He might be going to level 8 this way, though.
Might have had to take a look at the tracker to see where level 8 is. Once he finally came up with the decision of where to go, has now decided, okay, here we go. I'm going this way.
Like that is where he's headed. Kingdahl headed out of level 7, not immediately up-Aing back to a dungeon. Has some power bracelet spots up here he can check.
I do want to point something out, though. MoonrisenPhoenix could have saved a bunch of time. There's one.
It is power bracelet blocked. Okay, so. Now this gets a little bit interesting. Kingdahl finds level 1, is likely going to find both items out of here. Moonrisen needs to get back to 4 to get that power bracelet, but Kingdahl has not been to level 8 yet. Kingdahl has not found level 8, actually.
Level 8 right on the coast as well.
Yeah, and Kingdahl has not been to South Coast yet, so he might not know that it's here. He might end up digging in some extra spots, which will buy Moonrisen a little bit of time. I believe just beyond this door was the bomb upgrade. We'll see if Moonrisen elects to clear this out. He might also be trying to save the bomb upgrade for as late as possible, because I don't think it's actually this far north.
Yeah, I don't think it was this far north.
Kind of... Now, Moonrisen could have also been very...
one!
Bow in 1 is not the end of the world for Moonrisen, but because he will find that eventually, but he's still got to find 6. He's still got to go back to 4. I expect he will do 4 before finding 6. And the Triforce was kind of deep in level 8.
Double block. Oh, with the Goma!
So Goma now potentially blocks 3 items in this seed. Moonrisen's going to hit the continue button. Probably going to go ahead and buy the bomb upgrade. No, he's just going to save out. He is not thinking about the bomb upgrade in level 8.
And there's a staircase for Kingdahl. It is a transport level 1. A segmented level.
The bow cannot be in level 9.
And,
This is a good stair. I want everyone to pay attention to this stair, because this is how you make stairs. You have to just go to one random room that shouldn't exist, and it had just stick it full of wishrobes.
You sound like those evil producers for the Wolfenstein and Doom games. Just stick things behind walls that you shouldn't be checking.
Now, the other thing is, Moonrisen has to get bombs to be able to do anything else in this seed, because 6 is bomb blocked and 4 is bomb blocked. Moonrisen is going to walk to the waterfall to get bombs. This will probably delay. He probably will not go back to 4 until he has to, honestly, at this current going rate. Which is really unfortunate, because he's got the map before and he knows how small it is.
Yes, indeed.
I would think he would do 4 before 6. Kingdahl's still looking for the other item in this one. Gonna go ahead and pick up the Triforce, though, for the health refill. But yeah, just the one bomb wall and the little bit of bomb management issues that Moonrisen has had is really just come back to bite him. And it looks like he is going to go look for level 6 first.
Heading up here to the north, but we'll not find anything in these spots now that we know.
And actually, that's going to be good if he decides to take that to go to 4. Elsewise, he's going to need 11 bombs to clear all that out. And based on the way that he was routing it, it would be the last location for him. Kingdahl immediately goes to buy arrows. This tells me he's gonna go dig the items out of 2 and 7. Or at least he's thinking about digging those items. And I'm not entirely sure why Moonrisen hasn't bought a bomb upgrade or a blue ring here. Kingdahl's still looking for level 8, though.
Yep, and he's up here on Death Mountain, which is going to give MoonrisenPhoenix a little bit of time to work with.
But the way Moonrisen's routing this, he wants that East Death Mountain first, and he's going to have to abandon the arrow, which is going to just mean that Moonrisen finds level 6 probably as the last possible location.
And I don't think what's helping MoonrisenPhoenix here is the fact that he has already seen a level that is item blocked.
Right.
So he may be thinking level 1's going to be on this path as well. But we know, sadly, that's not the case.
Yeah. Moonrisen has seen 9. I don't think Kingdahl has.
Kingdahl has not. He has not checked those 2 river spots yet. But Kingdahl is going back into that level 2, that Goma.
I mean, it is pretty quick to get back to, and with arrows, you can kill these Pulse Voice very quickly. 9 was overworld blocked by the ladder at the spot next to Vanilla Second Quest 8. Moonrisen does get the recorder out. But he's not blowing it just yet. Kind of curious to where he's headed to here. Getting the bombs out. He is going to go ahead and continue Death Mountain.
All right, here we go. Goma, Kingdahl.
Moonrisen will get some bombs.
2 arrows here for Kingdahl.
3, and it's
Silvers
the silver.
in 2!
It's going to take a monumental effort for Moonrisen to catch up at this point.
And at this point, Kingdahl is now in the driver's seat to make it into the bracket round. If Kingdahl wins this race, he will improve to 3-1 and will clinch a spot in the bracket round. MoonrisenPhoenix will have to hope that the tiebreaker is going to be kind with a 2-2 record.
So what does Moonrisen need at this point? Moonrisen needs to get back to 4 as quickly as he can. And then he needs Kingdahl to full clear 8 and 9. And Moonrisen will need to remember to go back to 2. There's a lot that has to go. There's a lot that has to happen for Moonrisen to have a good chance, but it is not impossible.
Yeah, so see, this race is not over with by any stretch of the imagination, but the door for MoonrisenPhoenix is starting to close, and every second that MoonrisenPhoenix has opted not to go back into the level 4. As Kingdahl now finds where level 9 is, that door is closing slowly, but it is closing.
Well, here's the thing. MoonrisenPhoenix isn't actually losing time yet because he has to check all of this for level 6 anyway.
And Kingdahl is checking everything for level 8.
So,
however, Kingdahl has gone back to start, although we're not going in that right direction. We're going to go back to level 5 first.
Yeah, this is an interesting... Oh, he doesn't have the Triforce out of it. That's why he's going back. Okay. So here's the interesting thing about it. Even if Moonrisen had done level 4, he'd still be checking these spots anyway because he hasn't found level 6. So that's why I say Moonrisen, even though he is not in great shape, he is not losing time by checking these spots. He will lose a lot of time if he runs out of bombs up here. I think if you're Moonrisen, this is not an easy choice to make. You have one bomb in 3 spots.
Yes, indeed. And Moonrisen is thinking about it. This is where, if you had the ability to do a... fires do not go down in bombs. Oh, gosh.
But look at this. Moonrisen is going the direction that level 6 is in. He's going to find level 6.
Please don't die. Thank you.
He wants this bomb chance. Does not get it, but will get level 6 here.
Yes. That's the more important thing. Moonrisen just needs to find where level 1 is, but doesn't have the item to get into 1 just yet.
Well, he also doesn't have any bombs again.
Yes, but he now knows where 8 of his 9 dungeons are. That's where I was going with that comment. Yikes, it's level 5.
That's a map.
Yes, indeed.
So, I expect... Now, the question is, if you're Moonrisen, do you just Triforce and Jet? And I think you kind of have to. And the reason I think you kind of have to is you have Recorder, you know 4 is still out there on the table, you don't have a really compelling reason to dig 6 right now. Outside of maybe...
there we go. Nice fake out there for MoonrisenPhoenix.
Moonrisen's going to pick up the Triforce here. We'll see if he elects to go back in or not.
And the decisions going through the mind. We're walking away. We're checking for bombs. Can we get any? We're going to walk back in.
Looks like he's going to try to farm a bomb drop here. I like this a lot. He's got to be careful of those force drops. Like that.
Well,
gets a bomb pack.
That 5 rupee off the blue Darknut told us that fairy was the number 4 on the global counter.
And Moonrisen's not going back into 6. He's taking the approach of, the game will tell me to come back here if I have to come back here. The question is, will he go back immediately after seeing that level 1 is not up here? Or will he go back to 4? For his sake, he needs to go back to 4.
And we know that he has to go back into level 4. We know that, but that's something that MoonrisenPhoenix does not know at this stage.
But you have to... But here's the thing. Moonrisen has the map for 4. He knows that 4 is pretty small, and he knows that he was just bomb blocked out of it.
Yes, indeed.
He is walking.
I love the fact that the rupees, as being pointed out by chat, is a 69 versus 169.
Moonrisen thought about 6, but he's gonna farm for more bombs, but I think he wants to do the 6. And this is a decision I cannot agree with when you have the map before and you know how small 4 is.
And what was blocking you out of being able to do level 4 was the fact that you did not have any bombs.
4 is right near start.
One screen was a start.
Yeah. Kingdahl has seen 9, is about to see 8.
Yep.
Moonrisen needs a quick item out of this 6 for his sake, because elsewise, this is just a massive time sink that's going to give Kingdahl a lot more room than he would have had otherwise.
Mm-hmm. I think this here was a transport.
I don't think this was a stair at all. Kingdahl has found level 8.
Or it may have just been nothing and faked us all out. Anyways, Kingdahl, instead of this level 8, the Triforce is early in this 8 if you go north. But Kingdahl is going to try this Dig Dogger.
Now, Moonrisen is near. I believe this room actually has the raft, so... Nope. But he's got to be near it. Just a question of, is he going to be willing to spend the bombs? But again, just with his knowledge of 4, to me, this play doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless he feels like he's very far behind and has to gamble. And maybe that's what it is.
And that very well may be, though MoonrisenPhoenix was the first one to find that recorder out of level 5. But the thing with 1 versus 1 races in this kind of game, you don't know. You don't know where your opponent is. There's the raft from MoonrisenPhoenix. Now MoonrisenPhoenix can leave this level 6.
And we'll probably go check the raft spots next. We haven't seen any Gomas in 4. The only thing that stopped Moonrisen from clearing it was a bomb block.
Yeah, lack of bombs. When they got into the like room, there were no rooms either direction. As Kingdahl is like 3 rooms away from where the Triforce is, MoonrisenPhoenix is trying to think about what's the next play. Now, if you are cheering on MoonrisenPhoenix, you want Kingdahl to go down to the southern part of this level 8.
That looks like the choice for Moonrisen will be do the raft spots first.
Scrolls off the screen in order to avoid getting hit by the Dark Nuts. That's a good move. And it's going to come up empty in these 2 raft locations. Kingdahl searching off this level 8 and looks to be starting to head into the wrong direction for the Triforce.
Which, if you are on Team Moonrisen, you want Kingdahl to keep going the wrong direction.
Yes, indeed.
Because the longer Kingdahl spends in here, the more time it gives Moonrisen to
figure out to go into 4.
Yeah, but he's going to check the raft spot first.
Yes, indeed.
He seems to be very committed to anything but 4, which is a little interesting, as I've mentioned, but it's the choice he's made.
Yes,
Kingdahl
indeed.
made the choice to... I mean, there was a lot of choices made in this seed. There's no, like, one individual choice that has been a deciding factor for either runner yet. If I'm being honest.
And Moonrisen is just taking a look at the map, and I am wondering if MoonrisenPhoenix has just lost the location of level 4. Like, maybe did not mark it properly on a tracker somewhere.
Assuming... I'm pretty sure he saw it, because I'm pretty sure he was bomb blocked from going south in there.
I mean, he saw it, but did he mark it down on the tracker that it was a level?
And then takes a death to the Lionels trying to get out of the raft spot, but thankfully can get back there pretty quickly.
Which is a possibility too, but MoonrisenPhoenix is going to go and head Towards the south. We'll see which way we go.
Looks like he's going back to the Any Road.
Yep. And if we go south, then we get to level 4. It looks like we're heading there. All right, there we go. Back into level 4 here for MoonrisenPhoenix.
Kingdahl's going to check these 2 rooms of level 8. The legendary bottom rooms of 8. What will they hold?
Push block with a dig dogger.
And it doesn't have to be a push block. It could still be the Goma.
It's the push block.
Kingdahl's checking this room first.
Hasn't seen the Triforce, so...
This will be the power bracelet for Moonrisen. He'll probably stick around to get the Triforce. There's no reason for him not.
And there's the compass for Kingdahl. Kingdahl, not interested in what that item is here. It's just going to go straight for the Triforce. What if that was the red ring?
What if that was the book? I think there's enough items left outstanding that taking the couple of seconds to check that is probably fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If we could get the volume switched over to Kingdahl as we get ready for Kingdahl to grab this Triforce in this level 8, then we'll be heading into level number 9. Hey, there's a mugger.
It's a non-effective mugger, though. There's no
absolutely.
reason to pay it.
So say...
Go ahead.
I was just... No, you go ahead.
So here is the trouble for Moonrisen as Kingdahl heads into level 9. Kingdahl, heading into level 9 with Bow and Silvers, just wants to find Ganon and Zelda. Ganon being very loud, Zelda being very shuttered in. Moonrisen's... Probably the biggest question for Moonrisen is going to be, okay, do I go get that item out of 2 before I go to 9? Or do I have to gamble on 9 now? Knowing that the item in 2 is basically free. Well, free in air quotes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Kingdahl misses his way.
It's always sad when you miss your ride.
Especially when you paid $40 for the Uber.
Ever have a case where you were waiting for the bus, the public transportation bus, and all of a sudden you see it go whizzing by with you not even at the corner yet?
No, I've had more experiences with, oh, there's my metro train as it rides away.
Same difference.
Yeah.
You feel bad either way.
Kingdahl's elected to go ahead and top out on bombs.
So, as we wait for Kingdahl to go into level 9, just as a reminder, this is the second of 4 matches we've got on SpeedGaming 2 today for the Zelda 1 Randomizer SpeedGaming Live 2022 tournament. Coming up at 9:15 will be Kennedy versus Karakarn V, or Vi, or 4, or 6, or whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. That's coming up here at 9:15. Then at 11:15, we have Shaddy versus Jay Coper. And then, well, that's it for today. We'll have more matches coming up here tomorrow.
Now, these times are all Eastern for those.
Yes, that is correct.
So if you're in Pacific time and you're waiting until 11:15, you might be a little confused as to why you're watching whatever's on schedule at that time being played.
Hey, Zelda found.
Well, that was quick.
So now that we've found the kidnapped, now we are looking for some bacon.
What kind of bacon do you think it is?
And according to you, we're not looking for that cheap Oscar Mayer stuff. We're looking for that smoked bacon. There's our book.
All right, well, that decreases the odds of the item in 9 being valuable.
Ew.
Okay, Ganon's probably in that one stupid little room under the 9.
I was thinking under the R.
Actually, that's better, yeah. But the only way to get there is to take, like, 3 magic staircases.
I like the way you think.
I may or may not have experienced this recently. Alright, Moonrisen, checking power bracelet spots. Sorry to cut you off.
Well, it's alright. Just the problem is that MoonrisenPhoenix needs to get to the grave power bracelet spot in order to have a chance of finding this level 1.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is right around the corner from level 2, so...
Yeah, I think you can't, in good conscience, leave the item in 2 behind after you get the bow. But this routing makes a lot of sense for me from Moonrisen because he can route this into going back to 5 to get that Triforce, which was it Goma blocked?
I don't think so.
And in that case, Moonrisen may elect to just go ahead and get the Triforce out of 5 while he's on the way. Gonna go ahead and buy the meat just in case. A meat blocked Ganon would be fantastic.
Inquiry from chat in regards to how has he not found level 1. MoonrisenPhoenix just got the power bracelet out of level 4, and the power bracelet leads you to level 1 over at the grave push block.
So MoonrisenPhoenix is gonna get this power bracelet spot here. Will he go down to 5, or will he continue to prioritize finding 1?
There's our bait block.
I can still block Ganon.
It could.
The Ganon blocked by bait is not dead. Ganon blocked by bait is not dead. Ganon blocked by bait is dead. Oh.
You sound sad about this development.
I am. I wanted to bait block Ganon. That's always fun. Ganon's not in your room.
I'm not convinced yet.
Kingdahl's leaving.
I'm not convinced yet.
Kingdahl has left.
I'm not convinced yet.
If we find Ganon, will you be convinced then?
Yes.
Okay. There's mini Ganon.
But your chance for Ganon is still around.
Yes. I like it. Moonrisen is going to go ahead and check the arrow before heading over to the grave spot.
And we push the block and we find that we're not going to go in there just yet. We're going to clear the Goma, we're going to push the block, and we're going to mark that as another icon on our map. Because we want to check these nooks and crannies of this level 9.
Moonrisen having a little bit of difficulty getting this scroll. He had it, but just took a little bit too long holding the particular direction. That was the 6th crystal. Looks like he's now just gonna go ahead and walk it. Kingdahl not interested in the transports just yet. Moonrisen is going to whistle. Where is he going to whistle to? He's whistling to 6 to check this upper left spot, but Kingdahl has found Ganon.
I'm still not convinced.
I'm not convinced that that's where Mel Bacon. Just a little bit of unfortunate routing for MoonrisenPhoenix throughout to end up just last locationing most everything.
Yeah, MoonrisenPhoenix had a pretty solid start of the race, just unfortunately just lost the set, and it happens. It happens to all the runners out there.
Yep.
And Kingdahl has fired the silver arrow. And just a few rooms away is Princess Zelda. And with this development here, Kingdahl does an up and A. Gonna go one room to the left. Is gonna see the shutter door to open up, and Kingdahl is going to be the 3rd runner to make it into the bracket round. The field of 16 includes Kingdahl.
Please get your GGs in chat for Kingdahl. Official time 1:26:09.
And just as a side note there, for those of you who are wondering, the other 2 members who have made it into brackets so far, Dark Falls has clinched a spot into brackets by 3 seconds. And Bogey currently sitting at 3-0. Well, there's the other item of level 1. It was the red candle. Bogey, who is sitting at 3-0, cannot be touched as the top spot of that group as well. So Kingdahl now the 3rd to make it into the field of 16.
A lot of fairies there for Moonrisen. I do think Moonrisen is going to go ahead and try to finish this out as best he can, as there is something at play with tiebreakers in terms of time differentials.
Absolutely, and Moonrisen definitely wants to have a chance here when he goes up against Juwas coming up on the 16th, the night of the 15th at midnight. We'll see if we can't get our... we'll try to see if we can't get Kingdahl in here to talk about it, but we do know that it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning as well over there for where Kingdahl is.
Moonrisen about to get the Triforce out of 1. We'll see what he does here. I can understand wanting to go to 9, but you just gotta, like, 2 is just too quick to go to skip it at this point. He does have to go back to 5 to get that Triforce.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's see what MoonrisenPhoenix does as we welcome in the third person to make it into the group, or to make it into the bracket stage. GG's and congratulations, Kingdahl.
Yeah, thanks. That was something. It was full clear, almost everything.
Moonrisen has decided not to go back to level 2.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Booted back to level 4. And is gonna probably know.
Although I'm not quite sure where he is going, because level 5 was not here. Oh, he's checking
Magical Sword, obtainable at 11 hearts. All right, that explains it. So, what were your thoughts? You had a little bit of a slash that you did when you found the wood sword beyond those 6 red Lynels on top of the waterfall. I gave you a 2-minute penalty for that, but apparently it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think it worked out really well with the first pick up the white sword and then the ring. I was pretty set at that moment. I wasn't too worried about the sword, the wood sword.
Yeah, what really ended up being the defining moment was the choice to... Well, not really the choice, but just having the bombs to be able to dig out 4. MoonrisenPhoenix had found 4 early, but didn't have the bombs to go back, and left it as the very last thing that he did after checking every single overworld spot.
And as you know, that led to the power bracelet, which led to level 1's discovery, which led to the bow, which... Nice silver arrows behind the Goma in level 2.
Yeah, it sucks to leave level 2 like that, but yeah, I saw the Goma. When we played the last one, I mean, level 2 was also the one I left, and that wasn't very good then either. So
yeah, level 2 turned out to be the defining moment for you two back in the first match between you two, but in this time around, it was level 4, which was the big difference. So overall, I do want to ask what your thoughts were about this seed. Did you feel like this was a difficult seed? Did you feel like this was a pretty solid seed? What were your thoughts overall?
There wasn't really that much combat, really. I mean, the problem with this mixed overworld and then forced stuff is like you're full clear almost every time. Everything. Now, this time I left 2 spots at the shore and the ferry fountain and push block. Those were the 3, maybe 2. So that's, I mean, you get so tired also. We played a lot of first quest for a while now, and it feels like you're just putting on 30 minutes of walking. I don't even know what happened I left an item in 1 also. I thought maybe I'll find the silvers somewhere else.
The other item in 1 was the red candle, so...
I felt like it was too late to stay in 1 since I was since I knew the item in 2, and I hadn't seen 8, so I thought it was the right decision to leave. And since you have the flute, also you can come back at any time.
Well, we're not going to know what that second item in 8 was, but the one item you didn't see was the magic boomerang. So if you wanted to have the boomerang,
I wasn't gonna take any stairs in 8 when I had the compass. That's no.
Yeah, we saw you doing an about face when you found that compass.
I mean, I have 2 potions. I have a white sword. I have the ring. I know a 9 is. I'm not gonna go into a stair and. I mean, the book is nice, but every time when I get the book, I also get the map in 9. It's like 1 room in every time, so it sucks. So.
Speaking of 9, it looks like MoonrisenPhoenix is gonna go into 9, gambling that the silvers are there instead of checking anywhere else first.
Which is going to be unfortunate, but it is the decision that a lot of runners would make. Some of the runners wouldn't. Kingdahl chose to make the right decision to go back into that level 2, but Moonrisen pretty much wrote it off when he fluted away from level 1 after picking up that bow. So
wasn't it the case in a race last night, Druids, that the silvers was arrow blocked in level 2 or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was what Druids was mentioning. Same scenario here. Once MoonrisenPhoenix clears out this room, we'll find out that Princess Zelda is on the other side of that shutter door.
So now, for Moonrisen's sake, he's got to find these items in 9 quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Did he get the item in 7?
No, nobody's seen that item yet.
And no one ever will.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that yet. Moonrisen might decide to just do 2 last.
Yeah.
It's an option.
It's a terrible option.
I never said it was a good option. I'm just saying you might say, okay, well, maybe you just go for the full, like, mega galaxy brain moment and just say it's in 7.
I was so angry when I saw that goal, man. I hope that was the block, otherwise I'm crazy. Well, I am, but it's crazier than I thought.
Well, based on what we saw from your map, there's about a 99.8% chance that is a block.
I mean, I saw the other 30 rooms or something, and it was just wizards and Pole's voice everywhere.
And before I asked, that 0.2% is the game decided to put 3 items in level 8.
Or they put the item on the floor in 7 instead.
Yeah. It's
And
like
I
heart
guess-
shuffle, but 7 hearts on the floor.
You got minor drop shuffle, but only in 7.
Instructions unclear. Just moved 1 key.
This 9 was also very forced. You couldn't go anywhere at the start. You had to take a stair, I think, to get out of there. You couldn't even turn right. I don't know if Ganon couldn't have been on the other side. The game is weird.
Yeah, not a whole lot, really. Like, honestly, 9s as of late have been a lot more staircase focused.
There's almost never a straight path anymore. It used to be that you could at least try to force your way, but yeah, when the change happened, it really changed a lot of the tactics in 9.
I mean, I personally am fine with just spending like 28 bombs in 9 and getting 1 wall out of it, but I don't know about everyone else.
I mean, after 14 bombs, you already quit the game and shut it off and gone offline, so we wouldn't know that.
I'm just waiting for the day where we have a 6 magic staircase 9.
Or a 7.
Ah, yes, the magical segment. Or you know what? Let's double down. Double segment, 8 magic staircases.
I've never seen that. I think he's gonna find Ganon here soon, because the path is pretty forced from here. I think we took the same stair. If he takes this one, I think he's gonna take it, because I don't know if there's another way out of there. And then he's gonna be on the Ganon side at least, and he's gonna be forced down eventually.
Just as a reminder, coming up here in 20 minutes, we do have another match coming up here on SpeedGaming 2, as Kennedy will be taking on Karakarn. That race begins 20 minutes from now at 9:15.
Moonrisen has found the path to Ganon. At least here's Ganon.
Yeah, and he's going to know where Ganon is in 3, 2, 1, go.
And with no way to get out of that room either. So now the question is, does he leave?
Thinking about it, but staying in. So, Kingdahl, I know it's getting late for you, but I do want to ask you. You have clinched your spot into brackets. What are your thoughts?
Well, the other two tournaments recently has not gone very good. So it's nice to get into a second stage of anything. But yeah, it feels good.
For those asking, Kingdahl's official finish time was 1:26:09.
I let the timer run, so just to make sure that there's a timer on screen.
The timer tells us that the time is still the time.
The time is still the time?
Yeah, we had a little bit of math today, but not much.
Yeah, I just watched the race time clock, and then I pushed the splits to another screen that and then I just let it roll.
Sadly, my math was completely wrong, though, because we had, like, 5 instances of one show up, and then one just decided to not exist.
One was the last level that we found overall.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in 7, you're thinking the guy is in 1, and he's picking up the silvers and the red ring or something, and living the life, you know. That's the thought, you know. Well, here I am in 7, and then it's blocked. I mean, what am I doing?
Yeah, the big thing that MoonrisenPhoenix was able to do early in the seed was get that flute, the recorder out of level 5, found out about that bomb spot, the bomb wall that led to that staircase, did the bufferless, itemless clip past the blocks, got that. Led to the first candle pickup for MoonrisenPhoenix.
He must have been ahead, because I was like 36 minutes. I had nothing. I knew a lot of things, but I didn't have very many locations. I think my first Triforce was at like 37 or something.
We did know
that was level 6.
We did know that your first bomb drop was what, like 19 minutes in?
16 minutes.
Luckily, there were enough hearts. If that white sword is 6 or something, I don't know. Maybe I'm still playing.
Now, hold on, let's be realistic. Kingdahl, you could have bought bonds whenever you wanted, but you chose to instead bank all the money for the ring, which ended up being really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, that store was also funny, 80, 20, 10. What's the odds of that happening? The vanilla prices for all 3. That's amazing.
I was more impressed by the fact that the recorder was in 5 again. Or the white sword was the white sword, or the bow was in 1.
Yeah, maybe this was vanilla we played. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, you never know. The red ring could be in level 9.
Yes. The wand could also be in level 8, which would be vanilla for second quest. I don't think we've seen this room before.
How much did he see of 8? Did he see all the items, or did
he skipped? Well, he skipped the 2 rooms in the bottom that had the other item.
I mean, that was probably the best part of this, getting to 8 and not having to dig it out for stairs. That was amazing.
Speaking of stairs, we have another Goma blocked stair.
And it is another transport.
Looks like Moon is gonna stick out 9, though. It's an interesting call to make. I can't say it's the wrong one here, because for all you know, the item's in the next room and it could be a red ring. You could still have to go back to 7 to that Goma to get the item. You could still have to go back to 8. You're not by any means... Like, 2 is definitely your first post-9 check, but still.
There's nothing wrong playing like Shady. Yeah, Shady, he always does this. He goes to 9 right away when it's open.
No, I was thinking something else.
And speaking of Shady, join him and Jacob are coming up here at 11:15, the final of the 4 matches of this quadruple header.
Hey, we found the disco room. Who wants the disco?
Is it a Panic at the Disco?
That depends on what. That depends on if you. That depends on how late you find this. It very well could be, but it has.
It's the red ring.
He's now more green.
And he also knows that the silvers are not here in this 9.
So now the question is, does he go to 2 first, or does he say, you know what, I'm just gonna YOLO 7
Either way, the items are not that deep. You've cleared out most of that 7. You've cleared out most of that 2. But it looks like MoonrisenPhoenix is going to go to 8. So we're going to find out what is in that room.
I'm gonna say
Boomerang.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be double nanners in 8.
So the question is, does Moonrisen go to 2 after 8? I sincerely hope that Moonrisen isn't doing the old Alsoa strat of just do level 8 every time, all the time, and then do all of your big dungeons, because your opponent definitely won't be doing this. Also, as I have been a bad influence on the community, and I apologize.
Now Alsoa admits his faults.
Yes. Doing 8 first is never the right answer, except when it is. And even when it is, it isn't.
By the way, you get the chance to meet up with the great Alsoa at SpeedGaming Live, right?
Wait. I don't exist permeated throughout the internet, but I will be at the in-person event, yes.
Yes, you will be. And so too will I. Scary. We might actually share a microphone together, again, like we did back in 2019.
I'm being told that I've ruined the Z1R community. That sounds about right.
Nah, Alsoa didn't ruin the Z1R community.
No, we're just waiting on the Evo BR to start. You know, that's a good one.
Oh, the one that changes every week.
The one that starts weird and ends weirder.
That one you can only get 2 iterations of it in a row before it just becomes so janky that nobody actually wants to play it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the organizer is still in 8.
So in the interest of time, because we have another race coming up here in 10 minutes, we are going to give MoonrisenPhoenix a chance to come on in here and talk about this seed, despite what's still going on the seed in the background. So welcome in, GG's to MoonrisenPhoenix.
Let's try that again now that our microphone ain't hard muted. Thank you, everyone.
So, obviously, by this point, you know of the pathway of the seed. Currently on the restream, you are on inside of level 8, digging that out, trying to figure out what the item is as you're trying to see where the silvers turned out to be. What were your thoughts about this seed as a whole?
I will admit it, my mental game was in shambles by the hour mark. I was focused, everything was going pretty decent, and then it's yeah, you need a big win here. And at this rate, Kingdahl being who he is, excellent runner, odds are this isn't going your way, and, well, yeah, so started. Couldn't find level 1, couldn't find, what other level was blocked? I don't even remember at this point.
Level 1 was blocked by the power bracelet, level 9 was blocked by the ladder.
level one was the one I was trying to find like as soon as I could, and it ended up being in the last place I looked.
Yeah, the main issue for you was the fact that when you went into level 4, you did not have any bombs, and then you did not get back in there for the longest time. And of course, having the power bracelet that unlocked the last 3 components of the seed didn't help you out at all. But what made you choose not to go back to 4?
It was just I was just looking to find level 1, needing to find level. I'd found level 9, figured that was my overworld block, and just okay. Dead Mountain ain't cleared, Dead Woods ain't cleared. Get over there, get it done, get it checked. Where's level 1?
I think for me, the big surprising decision was choosing to dib 6 before 4. Just because of the knowledge that 6 is generally the bigger dungeon. So I'm curious if that was a case of, okay, well, I'm already here. I might as well just do this now and just go for it and hope it works out kind of deal.
Can I just ask the time frame on that?
It was like, what, an hour 10-ish in?
Exactly when my mental game was at its weakest. So
yeah, you were mentioning about how your game seemed to be falling apart around the hour mark. So it doesn't surprise me if that did lead into your decisions to choose the bigger dungeon. Like you said that you were feeling like you needed to have a big win against Kingdahl to have a chance to make it into the bracket stage. And so therefore, did you feel like you had to do 6 at that point because of it might be a dungeon that Kingdahl is not going to choose to do?
That's pretty much what I thought, yeah. And at that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I've got a shot if there's an important item in 6. And if I remember correctly, there wasn't.
So go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, it was a raft, which could have blocked level 1, in which case it would have been important. And knowing that makes the decision to go ahead and dig 6 make a bit, at least to me, it answers a lot of the questions I had about that dig, because I'm like, that just seems like it's a huge gamble play, and that's in fact what it was.
I had to take the gamble. I wasn't going to make it in the top 16 if I didn't make a gamble. And considering where I'm sitting right now at a time differential of plus 54 minutes at 1 win and 2 losses, I think my chances are, how do we say this nicely?
Minimal.
A low but non-zero number, I think.
But that does mean that you're still going to give it your all in the match against Druis, I'd have to assume, coming up on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
or Thursday night rather.
I've got little choice, and even if it is a spoiler match against Druis, well, got 1 race left in my season, so that's what it is.
Just go out there and play your game and just have fun with it, and that's the most important thing, is to have fun with it.
Absolutely.
But is there any closing thoughts that you want to say about this this tournament appearance, this seed as it is?
Like, I don't know if this next match against Druis is going to be restreamed, so I don't know if I'm going to get another chance to say this. So I'm going to fire it right now. I want to thank you guys for the comms. Thank you, Kairos, for tracking. Thank you to SpeedGaming for restreaming this tournament. Thank you to the viewers for sticking around. And I need to freaking go out here right now and thank every single member of that Zelda 1 randomizer community for being incredible since day 1. I came in here in April at the very start of the group stage, right after Swiss, and you guys welcomed me with open arms. This community is absolutely incredible. I want to make absolutely sure everybody here hears this, because it needs to be said. This community is insanely welcoming. These guys are incredible. Thank you so much.
And we definitely are pleased to have you as a member of this community, MoonrisenPhoenix.
Seconded.
So we are unfortunately not going to be able to see you finish because we are Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see you finish on the screen here. I will spoiler it here because we do need to go on to the next match, which is about to begin in 4 minutes. The final time for MoonrisenPhoenix is going to be 1:53:09. So let's go ahead, and we will go ahead and immediately cut right after MoonrisenPhoenix gets to Zelda. So let's go ahead and say our goodbyes here. Special thanks to Kiros for doing the tracking. Special thanks to MoonrisenPhoenix and Kingdahl for the running of this race. And more importantly, thank you very much to everyone who's been here and watching this race. And be sure to follow our runners.
Thanks, everyone.
I just want to say one last thing before we cut here. Congratulations, Kingdahl, on winning the group.
Yeah, thanks. We had a rough race. This was a lot better than the first one, the 2-hour garbage. But I also had a rough start here. I thought you were going to win. But
all right,
it's going to be interesting.
GG's to MoonrisenPhoenix. We got to go. Kiros, go ahead and hit the button, and we'll talk to you in the next stream coming up here. Stay tuned. Next race coming up here in just a few moments.